We have a voicemail number. That number is 219-2 David P. Here is a caller wanting me to lay out my beliefs. I get a lot of calls like this. Listen to this.
Hi, David. My name is Rob. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
Sir?
I have a question about the philosophy that underlies your politics. I know in the past you said that you're a non-believer, maybe an atheist or an agnostic, but do you have a label for your philosophical or your religious perspective? I would guess that you're a humanist, meaning that you believe reason and science are the best way to understand the world, that you don't believe in claims without evidence or in the supernatural, that you believe humans should figure out our problems cooperatively, and that morality is all about creating the most happiness and well-being for people in the here and now. Or maybe you have another label for your beliefs. If so, what might that be? Thanks.
So let me give you some labels, okay? I have an entire chapter in my forthcoming book about this, which is when principles and values in the abstract replace actually dealing with issues in the here and now. That's not what we're doing here. So I'm glad to kind of label some of my beliefs, and maybe this is useful. I don't know. So the caller asked about religion. They asked about ethical and moral beliefs and a bunch of different things. So I'll just kind of go through it in no particular order. I am culturally, ethnically, and culinarily Jewish, but my religious beliefs are agnostic. Now, I'll tell you what my beliefs are. Sometimes people will hear this and they'll go, David, just admit that you're an atheist. You're unwilling to admit it. Honestly, agnostic atheism, I don't know. The way I've always described it is, I am glad to believe in anything for which we have evidence. Right now, my connection to Judaism and the idea of a personal God is not how I'm connected to Judaism. I'm connected through culture, ethnicity, and I joke around through food as well. But it just has not been demonstrated to me that there is any reason to believe in the existence of a personal God. So that's my religious beliefs. I do consider myself a secular humanist. My moral and ethical framework aligns with secular humanism. So human reasoning is a big part of that. Ethics and justice as goals are a big part of that, primarily as informed by science and empiricism, and without relying on any religious doctrine. Religious doctrine is not a factor in informing my secular humanism. For some people, it is. Some people say, I am a humanist as informed by Christian values, for example. That's not what I'm saying at all. In terms of political alignment, I'm a social democrat with little L, like not, the big L, like the loser L. I'm talking about little L. Social democrat with little L libertarian tendencies. And what I mean by this is when we look at a political spectrum, often as it's sort of two axes with four quadrants, there's authoritarianism and libertarianism. This is not like I'm a Gary Johnson libertarian. It's when given the option, I opt for saying, let people do whatever they want, except when there's a really good case to say government should be involved or whatever the case may be. So I identify with progressive social democratic values, those found in Northern European countries. And my instinct is always, unless you can show me why to do it otherwise, I want to be a libertarian and let people do what they want, direct their lives, etc. I also consider myself a pragmatic rationalist. And what I mean by that is, and this relates to secular humanism, I prioritize empirical evidence and logical reasoning to form my beliefs. I value the scientific method, but I recognize the importance of personal experience in thinking through a lot of these issues. So this relates to identity politics. I've said this before. I never want to see identity politics used to silence people, as a cudgel, to disqualify people's views. As a blank, I'm allowed or not allowed to comment on this, that, or the other thing. That's destructive identity politics. I recognize that there are people who, because of their identity, have experiences I don't have, and vice versa. And those can be valuable in pragmatically informing our rationalism. And then lastly, I'm an economic pragmatist. I align with progressive economic policy in general, Northern European. I also am concerned about any increases to taxes when we are already doing such a poor job of spending the tax money we already collect. And so It's not that I'm against a progressive taxation system. That all of that is part of my economic pragmatist, social democracy, et cetera. I also see that too often, because it either seems too difficult or politically impossible to fix how we're spending the tax money we already collect, I don't like the answer often being, well, it's easier to just raise a tax, so let's do that. Those are my views. Those are my principles. And maybe hopefully that's useful to some degree. All right. After yesterday's tech disaster, we will do yesterday's planned bonus show today. Get access to the bonus show by becoming a member at joinpakman.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Wouldn't it be amazing to come? We're at 1.98 million YouTube subscribers. Wouldn't it be amazing to come back from the Thanksgiving break and be at 2 million? Just a thought, folks. Just a thought.